Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for today. I've been working my way through the Old Testament book of Judges. I don't know why. Maybe as a lawyer, there's something subliminal going on here with the Judges thing. But I got to Judges chapter 2 recently, and I started looking at that first verse in Hebrew, and boy, did it jump out at me. The verse says in the English Standard Version, and Joshua, the son of Nun, sent 2 men secretly from Shittim as spies, saying, Go, now listen to these instructions, go, view the land, especially Jericho. And they went, they came into the house of a prostitute whose name was Rahab, and lodged there. Now, this verse is laden with things that would make the Hebrew reader, especially in Joshua's day, read very carefully. Let me tell you why. Shittim is the place where Israel's men had fallen into sexual sin, and God was like going to really brought retribution on the people because of it. And their sexual sin was cavorting with Moabite women, foreign women. So Israel's encamped at a place that by reputation was a downfall sexually for Israelite men. Joshua tells the men to go out and to explore, to spy the land, especially Jericho. They don't spy the land, they go straight to Jericho, and in the same verse, we find them in the house of the prostitute Rahab. And this is also extra in the Hebrew because the verbs that are translated, they came into the house of Rahab. That verb can also be used as a euphemism in ancient Hebrew for a sexual liaison. The same is true for the verb they lodged there. It actually means they lay down there. And these verbs, you're reading this in the Hebrew, and you're going to want to read the rest of the story because you're not knowing what's going on. Furthermore, these guys don't even have names. They're unnamed people, but they name the prostitute Rahab. So the story names the prostitute, gives her profession. These 2 unnamed spies just go out there. And the wild part is when you read this story, the unnamed men don't become the center of the story. Rahab does. And this story of opposites collides between the pagan Rahab and these unnamed Israelite spies. And the wild part is, in the midst of a story laced with double entendres, in the midst of that story, God works. And one of the lessons that I draw out of this that affects my life today is that God can work in some of the most unlikely places, in some of the most unlikely ways. The key for you and me is to walk holy. So I want you to think about that today. That's my video thought for me today because I want to walk holy and see God work in the most unlikely places, in the most unlikely ways, because that's just the way He does it sometimes. Hence, I've made this not only mine, but your video thought for today.